Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me again as we talk about important real estate questions and we answer those for you right here. I hope that this one will be helpful for you because I've heard a lot of questions about is now a good time to sell. I would encourage you to go back and look at the blog. There are going to be a lot of numbers, but I'm going to try to really break this down and walk you through this. In short, yes, it's a great time to sell. We've got incredibly low inventory and we've got very, very high buyer demand. Economics is simply broken down to demand and supply, right? Supply and demand. I said that backwards. Simple supply and demand. Reality is we have a huge demand and a very, very, very low supply. Homes have never seen such significant value increase in such a short time. On average, homes nationwide have appreciated in value, which means they've gone up in value by over 17% nationwide in just a year. In 1 year, historically, the appreciation is slightly just over 3% per year, but we've seen a whopping increase of over 5 times the yearly average. So your home is worth a lot. And such buyer competition means you're going to have the upper hand in negotiations on contract terms and repairs. But let's be honest, though, it's rare that someone sells just to sell, right? I understand that. Oftentimes we sell because we want to make a move up or we want to downsize. Selling just becomes the necessary hurdle to jump before we can purchase the new home. Now, sometimes that's not true. If you want to take a listen to the most recent podcast right before this one, I talk about what it looks like to try to get approved to buy a home without selling your current home and what you should do in that scenario. But the hardest part is sometimes it is necessary to sell your home. So the question of is now a good time to sell? Also, we have to ask the question, is now also then a good time to buy? Because most people are selling so they can buy. Once again, in short, the answer is yes. It is a very, very challenging competitive market, but interest rates are still historically low. I know that from a perspective of, well, they used to be 3% and maybe now they're 4% or whenever you're listening to this. I know that still seems high because we went from low to higher, but if we had gone from 5 to 4%, you would be ecstatic, right? So all it is a matter of perspective. And when you think about historically, still one of the lowest interest rates we've ever seen historically, it's never really been this cheap to borrow money from a bank. So we still are very low, still a great time to leverage out money from the bank. The biggest challenge buyers run into, as I mentioned, is the competition in the market. And there's really no way to avoid that competition. After all, if it's a great time to sell, then it's going to be a rough time to buy. Right. And if it's a great time to buy, then it's going to be tough to sell. You can't have it both ways. So it's going to be one or the other. So now we need to look at math because most of the time, in my opinion, besides, is it the right time for your family? It becomes a math equation, right? It is a simple math equation. So let's do some quick math on, is it better to sell when it's a seller's market and buy even though it's a seller's market? Or is it better to sell when it's a buyer's market, but buy when it's a buyer's market? Let's have that conversation and let's talk about that. So let's look at the math. Because the market is competitive, let's say that you're going to sell your home and make $20,000 more than you would have a year ago. But when you go to purchase the home you're buying is also $20,000 more than it was a year ago. How does the profit of your sale compare to the cost of your purchase? Now, most people will look and say, well, it's a break even, right? I made 20,000, it cost me 20,000, but let's look at actual numbers. If you are like the vast majority of Americans who will be financing their purchase and not just paying full cash, an extra $20,000 in a price on a purchase price on your new home will cost you roughly only about $100 per month. Now, that's not insignificant, but it's also not crazy significant. Whereas on your seller side, you are actually profiting $20,000 more in your pocket. So it isn't truly a comparison of 20,000 versus 20,000 on your sale versus your buy. It's a comparison of $20,000 in your pocket from selling versus $100 out of your pocket on purchase every month on purchasing. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd rather take the $20,000, save it, invest it, and do whatever you want with it than save just $100 a month. Plus, to break even on that, it would take 200 months or almost 17 years before that $100 a month even equaled the $20,000 in your pocket, right? So again, we're talking about borrowing money and having the leverage of the cash in your pocket versus borrowing money, paying a little bit more per month. It would take, if you paid $100 per month for almost 17 years, then it would finally equal $20,000, right? That's the trade-off. In 16 years, I'm pretty sure you can make more money where that $100 a month is less significant, or go invest your $20,000. And if you get an average rate of return in the market of 8%, and your mortgage interest rate's only 4%, well, guess what? Your money's growing faster, 4% faster than it is costing you money on your interest rate. Again, happy to talk you through these numbers on the phone, or if you have questions, reach out to us. But at the bottom line is this: you are going to be in a better position by taking the cash in a seller's market and maybe financing a little bit more, because the new home is going to cost you more. You're going to be in a better position than if it was the other way around. I absolutely think it's a great time to sell. As a seller, we can also protect you from selling your home without finding another one by installing what we call a contingency clause in your contract that says you will not sell your home until you find a suitable replacement home. That's very common and a question I'm asked many, many times. It's an understandable fear that you'd sell your home and be homeless before you find a new place. Don't worry. A good agent knows how to protect you. We can protect you. If you're not looking in Southeast Virginia, where we are, we know agents all around the country that can help you. Reach out to us. We'd love to connect you with a good agent. Now, again, I know most of this, the conversation today is math, but math tells a good story. The bottom line is this: now is a great opportunity to maximize the value of your home and then take advantage of borrowing money very cheaply from a bank. It is a great time to sell. It's a hard time to buy, but still a great time to buy once you find the right house. We want to help you in any way that we can, whether it's giving you advice, helping you if you're moving to a different area. Certainly if you're moving to Southeast Virginia, we would love to help. Reach out to us. Our contact information is below, maroongroupva.com. Thanks so much for tuning in.